Hello guys, Matthew Moss right here and welcome to my tour of the Geek Room Winter 2015. Now this is just going to be a quick update because I have quite a lot of other work to be doing, so well, let's just jump right into the Not Much Has Changed, the tour of the Geek Room. But this is just going to be in depth but quick, so let's dive in. And here is my room as it stands, minus the bag right there for the camera and what I'm calling my spares box. I have that out because that's where I normally keep my SD card, to be brutally honest, so that's the only reason that's out. Now if we move on to my desk, now this is where the place where all the magic happens on Crystallized Entertainment, really. So starting with the desk, this is a IKEA desk. I cannot remember what it's called, so I'm not going to go much in depth with that, except it's a very good desk. IKEA has really done their marketing right because it's very accurate to how stunningly built it is. This thing doesn't have any screws holding the top plate in place because the weight is actually doing it for me. So yeah, if I sound a bit lost, it's because I'm a bit on the tired side today. So here is my iPhone 5S I got on my 17th birthday, and it has been an absolute cracking phone. I can't recommend this enough. Even with the 6S out, I still say this is a pretty good phone, and Touch ID is not too quick, so that's one of the issues I have with the 6S. Here is my Kindle Paperwhite I bought in August, or was it June, for new wine, because I was going to get bored otherwise because I didn't have my laptop then. So there you go. This is a Dell mouse from I think either 2007 or 2008. I could never find out which which year it is. Excuse me. It's a good mouse, reasonably accurate. The scroll wheel is going, and so is the the rubber resistance thing. I can't think what it's called. If that isn't a testimony to how tired I am, I don't know what it is. Here is like Acer keyboard. I came with Thomas's XE105 desktop. It's been a good keyboard. Sometimes I miss out keys on it, but I've gotten used to it. It's a very nice keyboard. Although the travel distance is a bit too much for me, but overall, for what it is, it's pretty good. Now over here is my storage drives. This is a Seagate expansion drive, and this is a Western Digital Elements drive, both 3 terabytes. This is being used as a Wender drive because I needed a dedicated Wender drive for me to store my uncompressed Winders from Source Filmmaker / Blender, depending on what project it will be. The Elements drive is my more general data drive where all my programs and project files are kept. There's about 500-ish gigabytes left on my Elements drive, so that's going to be replaced at some point or another. And here is my 18th birthday massive badge. Not much need to be said about that. Now here is my primary display, a Technicolor 23.6 inch TV I got when I was 13. It's an alright TV. It's going connected through VGA to my desktop because I bought some adapters and whatnot when I got my PS4, so my PS4 could use the HDMI and not my desktop. But overall, color accuracy is blur. Even when I manually had to do the color calibration myself, it's still not ideal. Compared to my LG Flatron display, which I'll get onto in a minute. But yeah, when it's at properly 1080p on the VGA mode, it's very crisp, and the response time is quite good in terms of how many hertz it's doing. I believe it's a 60 hertz panel. Never can find that out, but there you go. And on here, pardon scraping. Here is the front part of my Logitech Z506 5.1 surround sound system I got during Christmas 2014. I've absolutely loved these speakers, even though I haven't used them in terms of productivity as much as I thought I was. It's still a great speaker system, and I can't recommend it for anyone enough, especially for the price tag. I don't really see a reason why anyone would need to get a G906. But there you go. On my left is my secondary display, and the LG Flatron 1943 SS display. It's got a display resolution of 3066 by 768, I believe. It's a 18.5 inch display, and this display is just being absolutely stellar. It's very color accurate in terms of, and it's what I intend to use if I want to get a double check on how it looks, how an artwork or animation looks like in terms of color. So it's very good. I'm very happy with it. Bought this back in 2009 when I bought my compact CQ5222 desktop, and it's been mine ever since, and it hasn't put a foot wrong. It's just getting old now, and it has developed some weird faults, but overall I can easily recommend this to anyone who's looking for a small, reasonably color accurate display. Now if we move past my birthday gifts, which I still haven't found a place to put here because there's no space, but if we move beyond here, you can see my desktop. This is a unbranded desktop I got during 2013. It was built by from an eBayer. Cost me about £300 plus the extra 200 and something pounds for the graphics card. Its specs is a Intel Core i5 4430, clocked at 3 GHz, no hyper-threading, no turbo boost, literally just a quad-core processor. The other specs is it's got 18 gigs of 8 gig 1600 MHz GDDR3 memory, a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 760 with 2 gigs of video memory, and I can't remember how much CUDA cores it has. No, the GPU is great, and I'm very happy with it for a mid-range card. So again, it's never put a foot wrong. It also has like a 500 gig boot hard drive, which I believe is more connected through a SATA 2 bus, which is probably being a bottleneck at the moment. There's not much to write home about, apart from this machine was never built with my kind of workload in mind. As an animator, it was never designed for that. So, and it clearly shows it sometimes, so much it lags. In fact, sometimes even when it crashes, it's just not fun. But moving on, you can see my PlayStation 4 just leaning across the side. This is slightly different than the ones announced in 2013, as it's all matte, frankly. But it's still an outstanding console, and I do enjoy playing it very much. Now, moving here is my Geek Corner, as I like to call it, which has my Grumpy Cat book I got last year, loads of tapes, a G4 Cube case, which I'm still very chuffed I got for about £65, including postage, I believe. Very chuffed with it. And yeah, if you can find one of these, or even a full G4 Cube computer on eBay for reasonably cheap, just go for it, because it's an absolute iconic bit of Apple's history, and reminds me of the 2013 Mac Pro in terms of design, and it's probably where Apple got their inspiration from. Now if we move back here, I just want to quickly point out my headphones. These are the same brand, which I cannot remember, as my old headphones. Amplify, there we go. If you find any Amplify headphones, I don't know about earphones, but headphones, I can easily recommend them. They're really loud. This one has issues on a few videos or in music where it just doesn't play any sound, although it will work on my surround sound system. So it has an issue with a few of these songs and videos, but other than that, it's quite grand. Now if we turn back here, you can see one of my newest additions is the Steam controller, which I reviewed 2 weeks ago, approximately. Yeah, it's just been there ever since I've done the review, and I've been using a DualShock 4 to play my games. not much to write home about. If you want to see more of my review, I would either tell you to go to Linus Tech Tips for his review, or put a link right here for my review of an experience on the Steam controller. Other than that, it's just boxes on my iPhone 5S and my 2008 MacBook Pro, which I sold not long after I bought my new MacBook Pro. I just kept the box because I'm a geek like that, and I'm a horrible person. Now down here is where my MacBook Pro lives. This is it's a 2012 MacBook Pro 15.4 inch. This is the baseline model with a what was it? It was a 2.6 gigahertz Intel Core i7 3615 QM, I believe. 8 gigs of RAM, half a gig of video memory on a GeForce GT 650M. An outstanding laptop, much more powerful than my old one, naturally. It runs Source Filmmaker at reasonably well at 21 frames per second on the less intensive things I work on, so really happy there. Blender support for GPU accelerated rendering on this thing is great, although it does slow down the computer, unsurprisingly. Next to it is the power supply, which is an 80-watt MagSafe 1 power supply. Not much to write home about. It's very good, gets the job done. And here is the box for the DualShock 4 controller I bought for my PC. The 20th anniversary one. This will go onto my Geek corner when I find the space, as long as everything else. And this is in this shoebox right here. Is just my Christmas decorations I haven't put up yet. Moving around to here, you can see that my pluses are there. That I got this on my 18th birthday. I absolutely love them. I sleep with them every night. I believe tonight is Applejack's turn, and then tomorrow will be Twilight, because I just have them going asynchronously. That was almost English, Matthew. But I have them like rotating like that, and that's how I get even sleeps with them, and they're absolutely wonderful. Definitely a testament to Build-A-Bear Workshop. Over here is my Welcome to Ponyville poster, which I got during this Christmas 2014. Absolutely love it. It looks like a 1950s postcard, and it looks amazing, and there's nothing else I have to say other than that. That's about it in a nutshell. Now here is my, drawing of a sick computer, which a cartoon artist did back in the days of old. When I was in year 6, actually, this is the story of how I got it. Back in year 6, an artist came in and drew that, a cartoonist, based on suggestions that the audience, i.e. the entire school, had. I was the one who suggested the computer part. Everything else was me, suggested by other people, and I asked if I could keep it afterwards. Since it was going to be thrown away anyways, he let me keep it, and it's been mine ever since. Yeah, lovely jubbly. Here is my USS Excelsior model. This is not the NX revision, but the later generation NCC model. Dad built this for me on my 8th birthday, and I absolutely love it, like probably everything else in my room, so that's absolutely marvellous. And there's like my audio CD, not much to write home about. My lamp, not much to write home about, so I'm not going to talk about it. But here, you can see both the back speakers of my 5.1 surround sound system, which does sound a bit tinny, but since it's on the back, I can forgive it. And here, there's my CDs I never listened to. And here is the toy of the Enterprise from the J.J. Abrams reboot series. Now, down here is, if I move my, whatchamacallit, that's what remains of my Pinky balloon that Mum got me for my 18th birthday, and I absolutely love. I haven't put her away yet. I'm going to get a special box just dedicated for her and my other 18th birthday stuff. But that's basically is the remains of her. And it looks rather lifeless, really, sadly, but there you go, that's her. You might be able to see it, you might not, it's the bag of my that I keep my laptop. It's a proper laptop backpack. It's very good, easily worth the money, and yeah. Here is just packaging for stuff I've ordered for my new setup, which I'll quickly show you in a minute. But here, actually, I'm going to get my flashlight out of my phone so you can see it, because okay, sorry about that carbide. The camera reached its maximum recording limit per clip, so there we go. Anyway, along there you can see my Bluetooth the speakers that I bought but hardly ever use because it upsets my brother. So I don't know, what can you do? Along with my USB band, I have Buzzwells, my old phone, the TV remote, and the DualShock 4 controllers. One that came with my console and one that's for my desktop. You probably can guess which one is which. Other than that, again, boxes for my tripod. One of my other balloons for my birthday, which is one of my personal favourites, other than Pinky. Other than that, there's my 18 balloon, which always but deflated, and in there is just my cables cupboard, which is an absolute mess, I'm not gonna lie. So other than that, let's move to the bottom, underneath my desk, which you can see how messy my cable management is, or I say the lack of. Right there you can see is my subwoofer to surround sound, along with my power link connector that enables me to have internet. The whole excuse for cable management. And yeah, let's move here. This is my printer, which I hardly ever use, the HP Envy 4500. Printing words, it seems to be fine, but it doesn't mean like printing colours, I've noticed. So printing pictures on this thing for me is out of the question, because it just absolutely hates it whenever I do that. I don't know, but that's basically what's happened, and fair enough, if it wants to be that stubborn, I'll let it be that stubborn. Because, yeah, I'll just have to find some other means of printing images for, say, art. So that's going to be an issue, but there you go! Down here is my Christmas light, which you can see right here, which we haven't set up yet, but will go up there on top of the curtains. That's how it works every year, so there's that. And then underneath is my PS4 box, which again will be my geek corner when I can find a space for it, but right now it's just living here. So without further ado, I won't take up any more of your time, so thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.